All right, welcome back to season 3 of our show, and today it's chicken and ribs marinated up in a beautiful yogurt sauce. So we're going to show you how to get all this seasoned up and cooked up, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, so it's chicken and ribs today, and like I said, we're using a marinade using yogurt today. So we're going to show you how to get that done. Now, we started cleaning this chicken. I'm using thighs today and wings. This is a full rack of spare ribs over here, so we're not going to do any trimming on those. I mean, they look good, and for a lot of people that trim them and cut off a lot of excess things on the bottom here, I'm going to show you how to rib tip these today. So the first thing we're going to do is get our marinade on. So you're going to need a food processor, some salt, some thyme. I got some garlic here and some onion and rosemary. This is a homemade rub. Onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, no salt, a little bit of pepper in here, some cayenne. That's about it. All right, so let's get our garlic in. Got about 6 cloves of this. I'm gonna get our onion in. I got the small one out today, so we're gonna have to do some chopping. Now all these ingredients, again, you can make these yours. And a recipe in my book is just a guide. And the cooking technique is everything. Everybody seasons different. You can get that right or wrong in your book or my book, but the bottom line is you gotta cook it right. So I'm showing you technique and some flavor, but my flavor. So if you guys wanna use my flavors, that's great. I love it. But I do hope you guys try your own and let me know if you tried something better out there, because I'm not the best chef in the world. I'm certainly not the worst, but everybody's different. And I'm always open to learning new things. And the day that you stop learning new things, well, that's that. All right, so this is our rosemary, dry thyme. So we have fresh rosemary, dry thyme, onions in there. We're just gonna give that a mix. Go till we can't go anymore, and that's it. So we're gonna take this out of here, and now we're gonna make our marinade. So let's just get in a bowl, and now we're gonna take this out of here. So we're gonna put this in here like this. Now you don't need much of this, because what we're gonna do with this one is we're gonna mix it with the yogurt. Now we're using a yogurt today. And why are we using yogurt? It's gonna keep that chicken so moist and tender while it's over the fire. As we're hanging this right over the fire. And you don't have to hang your chicken. You can put it on the grill the same way. But this assures it from touching anything. So we're not gonna have any grill marks on it because it won't be touching the grill. So let's just get our yogurt in. We use about that much because it goes a long way. Now this is great if your yogurt's actually expiring or it's a couple of days old. You can still use this yogurt. It almost acts like a buttermilk, and it will hold that flavor and moisture for you. So we're gonna mix that up. And now as we're mixing, we're gonna bring in a rub. There's no salt in here. That's the rub that I just showed you guys. So add the rub. That's a lot of it, right? And we're just gonna mix it as we go. Now my yogurt was on its last day and I wasn't gonna get around to eating it, so nothing in my house goes to waste. So I'm always gonna use everything I have. And this is just another way how to use your yogurt if you have some left over. Now this is a plain yogurt. I wouldn't suggest using a strawberry yogurt or banana or anything like that. You always want to use a plain yogurt because you don't want to give the food any odd flavor. You'll find this in a lot of Indian cooking, using the yogurts to go on the grill. They use it in a tandoori style, and I'll use it too. and you could just put your own flavors in there. So not everything has to be etched in stone. So just make it yours. All right, so now we got this off to the side. So here's our chicken. Now I left one piece here. This is all the fat that I took off of those thighs. And I'm a big bug on showing people how to clean their chicken. So all that's all fat. This skin that comes off, it's gonna fall into the fire and it's gonna cause a fire depending on your grill. So you wanna just kind of scrape that back and get all that fat out of there. If you wanna keep the skin, you can keep it. Some people like to wrap it around this way. If you're a skin lover, you can wrap it around that way and protect the meat. But me, I'm just gonna cut it off because I make a lot of stocks and I keep all that. So we're just gonna clean this up, scrape it out like that, and just clean the skin. Now you'll see this a lot in competition barbecue cooking, but I do this in life. I don't have to wait to a contest to clean your chicken because I hate fat in the mouth. So the last thing I want to do is pull a huge chunk of fat out of my mouth. So there's no worse judges than the people that you have over your house or your family that pull fat out of their mouths, or even yourself. So this is how you get that done. Just look around and just clean all that out of there. It's just a better bite, a cleaner chicken, and it's going to pay off at the end. Just scrape all that out of there. And there it is. That didn't take too long, right? So just do that to all your thighs. And if you want a boneless thigh, you can take out the bone and just cut down the middle, separate the meat back, and just pull the bone right out of there. But keep in mind, thighs are a very forgiving piece of meat, but you still take a chance of drying that meat out if you cut the bone out. Anytime you remove the bone out of anything, you take a shot at drying out the meat. Me, I usually rarely ever remove any bones in anything because I know all that flavor's there. It's down next to the marrow. Especially if it's in a soup or a stew, you want all that marrow and that bone flavor in there. All right, so that's done. Let's get this out of the way. We slide this right over. Now the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our ribs seasoned, because the chicken, I wanna dump completely in that marinade afterwards. So what we'll do here is take some of the marinade and we'll get it onto the rib. Now a lot of pork in our country is salted already. The pigs, they're very salty. So I don't add any salt to the rub. I don't add any salt to the meat. Everybody's different. They could put their own salt on afterwards, but I realize that the meat comes out a lot better if you just leave it alone. And we're just gonna put that marinade on there. Now I'm not touching that now because I have to touch the chicken and I don't wanna go back and forth with that. So I'll just bring the chicken back over. I'm gonna get my salt. And right onto my chicken. Like I said, there's no salt in the marinade, so you gotta salt the chicken. And we're going in with a good liberal amount of salt on the chicken because chicken can hold that and take that salt, especially those thighs. So we'll go over there. We'll turn it over. And we'll just hit the other side. Now I'm going to be hanging these, so right after we get finished marinating these, I'm going to show you how to hang just 2 of them and then we're onto the smoker. And that's about it. We're going to show you how to hang those ribs as well too. We're going to get those guys hung up. Depends, I might change my mind on hanging of the rib and I might just put the bottom of the bones right onto the rack. So it depends on the setup later on. We're just going to feel it out and go from there. All right, so now we got our salt on. That's kosher salt, diamond, and just get all your chicken in. Just like that. Just get it rubbed around in that marinade. And I'll take it like that. Make sure you lift the skin up and get it up under the skin too. And put it back on the tray, like that. All right, I'm gonna get to marinating this up and we're gonna meet you guys right back here, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, so our meat's all nice and marinated up. I have everything hooked. I'm just going to show you these ribs. Now the first thing we'll do, because we have that marinade on there, we're going to get on a little bit more rub. Now I tucked in the end of these. If you can look at the rib tips on here, I tucked them in. So you guys that are cutting off your ribs, don't do that. Just tuck them in like that. And that's the way they'll lay on the smoker. And that's the way they'll set. And that's the way they'll get cooked in. Now I'm just going to hit this with a little bit more rub. Because now that we got that yogurt on there, this rub is going to stick beautifully to it. Just like that. I'm going to untuck this because I just showed you this. And get some rub on there. And we're just going to tuck them back in. I'm not going to do the other side because the other side is mostly bone. Alright, here's our chicken. I'm going to do the same thing. Come over here and hit our chicken. Just like that. And you can move them around a bit just to get that rub on there. I'm just going to do the fronts just like that and hit the front with just a heavy rub on there and get some more flavor on there. So as you can see that. And now let me show you how I hook these guys. So here's the wing. I'm using these hooks here. Now this is the pit barrel hook. Just take it and right between this bone right here on the wing, just put it in here and press. And that's it, that easy. Here's our thigh. So you're gonna take it, find the top bone here on the thigh, and you come down right next to the bone, right up under the skin, and there you have it, just like that. And now, I'm going to hit that with a little bit of rub. And we'll meet you guys out onto the cooker, so don't go anywhere. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is get our chicken hung. And we're going to hang this pretty quick. Because Mr. Pit Barrel here ain't messing around. Now I'm going to put the ribs on last because you see that flame down there, right? Once that flame gets pretty crazy, you won't have a chance. So I'm just going to get this right over here, hanging them as fast as possible. There we go. Now I will calm down that fire because I got a log in there. That's why it's doing that. In just a second. I'll wind up getting the hood back on. And then we're good. So what I'll do now is I'm going to get my hood back on. Calm down my fire for a second. Then I'm going to take the hood off, get those ribs on, and then get the rest of that chicken on. So 2 minutes, we'll meet you right back here. Don't go anywhere. All right, we let the fire calm down. Time to get these ribs on. All right, so I'm going to grab my ribs like this, tucking them in, and start them from the back, and put them right down across. Like that. Let's get my bar in. And I'm just going to hang the rest of my chicken. We got a full house here. A couple of people coming over to eat. There we go. Now the reason why we're hanging the chickens over top of the ribs, it doesn't matter if they drip onto the rib, because the ribs are going to be the last ones to come out anyway. The chicken's going to be done first. So that's how you want that. I'll get this guy over here. And let's just see, we have room. We cannot put it over, we'll avoid it. And we'll just put everything on the sides, just like that. That'll work. Just like that. There we go. All right, we're gonna close up and meet you back here in just a little bit, so don't go anywhere. All right, we're about an hour and a half in. Let's see what we got. Look at those guys. Are looking pretty good here. I'm just gonna check on them. And we're looking pretty good. We still got some time to go. So this thing is cranking right now at about 285 degrees. I'm gonna leave this open. I haven't touched it and checked it, so I'm gonna leave this open for a second to kick my fire back up. And once my fire kicks back up, I'm gonna close down again because I want my wings just a little bit more crispy. And my thighs. So, yes, this is hot. I can take some heat. I've been doing this for a long time, so my hands have become accustomed to it. So that fire kicking back up down there, that's what we're looking for. I'm not gonna have to refuel this. I'm just gonna have to let the fire kick back up a bit. I'm gonna close up, and then we'll meet you back here to take these off. There's no basting. That's it, one shot deal. All right, we're gonna let this fire build back up and we'll meet you right back here, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, almost 3 hours in. Look at that, beautiful. So now, our chicken's looking pretty good. Now the nice part about the chicken and the ribs, they can be done at the same time. So those bones are pulling through, and I think I'm gonna pull them off within 5 minutes time difference in between each other, maybe 15 minutes, somewhere in that range, but those ribs will be done shortly, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, chicken is done. Now I'm gonna leave those ribs on, but I definitely wanna get all of my wings off of here and my thighs. Look at that, beautiful. Once you open up this box, you want to make sure you get everything off pretty quick so you don't bring up that temperature. And make sure all your hooks are running in the same direction. This way you're not going to have to keep going back and forth. All right. Looking right. This guy holds a lot of food. There's a couple of packs of chicken. And it's feeding six hungry eaters. All right. Now you want to work kind of quick, like I said. Now the nice part about this is if you look down in here, if I drop one of these, I can just go get it. And some cookers, if you do drop something, it's gone. And that's it. So we're gonna meet you guys right back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, time to get this set of ribs out of here. So we're just gonna lift these guys out of here and pull them out. Now I'm gonna feel and see if they're gonna break apart on me. But they're pretty good. Direct heat ribs, look at that. Can't go wrong. All right. Up we go, just like that. And we're gonna meet you inside, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, here we are, season 3's chopping block. Chicken and ribs, marinated in yogurt sauce. Show you what we got. Look at those. Let's pull out a couple of these pieces of chicken here. Now I'm going to pull the hooks out of here. All right, here we go. Look at that, beautiful. Now look at that crust on here. Very nice. And if we open one up, Let's just open up a thigh. Look at that, cook right down to the bone. You can just pull that right off of there. Not dried out. Beautiful. Let's give that a shot. Excellent. All right, let's open up a wing. Look at that. Excellent. Let's get into some of these ribs here. Now right away, look at that coat. I mean, I'm taking my hand here and I'm just showing you how beautiful that is. How many of you have ever seen anything like that? So let's turn them over, find our bone, and get into some of these guys. I'm just gonna go right down the back. Just rock right through. And show you this. Look at that. Beautiful. Gorgeous rib. And let me show you a rib tip in here. Look at those. All of them. Gorgeous. I think I'm just going to cut the whole rack up. So what we'll do is I'll go on an angle like this. I'll start over here. Now just cut that nice big piece off. Look at that. Gorgeous. And I'm going to get the rest of these ribs cut up. And look at those guys. I mean, how do you go wrong with these? See, that's why I told you guys that marinade is crazy. So you guys are definitely going to want to try this one. This is a must try. Let's get a pitmaster taste in here. Show you how this pulls right off the bone. Look at that. Matter of fact, you could just pull this right off the bone. You see that? That bone just comes right out. That's what you want. Right there, spot on, without that meat falling apart. Direct heat cook. Can't go wrong with that one. Those ribs held together like a champ. Now let me show you this part that we folded in. So I'm just going to move this off to the side like this. I'm going to get through on the rib. And now this is the last piece. And people throw this piece away. I'm just going to cut these up real quick. And people throw this end piece away or they'll cut it off. Look at that. You could just take it, chop it, and you got rib tips. Look at that. It's so tender it just falls apart. And now you got beautiful rib tips. And this piece right here, 100% edible, eating. So why would you rip that off? Let's just open it up. Look at that. Now it looks like a rib once you folded it in. Beautiful. All right, let's get these off to the side. Let's plate up. Show you what this all looks like on a plate. So we made a beautiful jambalaya. It's a seafood jambalaya, crawfish. And we're gonna leave a link to this video being made. You're definitely going to want to have to see this one. This is crawfish, andouille sausage. This is a must watch. You can see all those beautiful crawfish in there. And those beautiful andouilles. So we're gonna get that onto the plate. We're gonna go for some more. And then we're gonna get some ribs onto this plate. Let's plate up with this nice big guy right here. Never go wrong with ribs, right? And I think we'll even put maybe this one over here. So these two over here. Then we're gonna go for some of that beautiful chicken right here as well too. Why not? I'll give you a full southern plate. And then we're just gonna top this off and clean my little paws up on here. Whoop. We're gonna top this off with a little green onion. We are in the South. And there it is. A beautiful plate. Just gonna turn this around for you guys so you can take a look at that. All right, we're gonna get organized and we're gonna clean up and get right back to you. So stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, there it is. Chicken and ribs marinated with a beautiful yogurt sauce. Pretty much think this video speaks for itself. We made a beautiful rice on the side. Jambalaya. Can't go wrong with that one. We're gonna leave a link in the description to that jambalaya. It's got fresh crawfish in there, andouille sausage. And if you like this video, more videos about to come, give a like, hit that bell. This way you get those notifications first. Thank you. We enjoyed you coming. Until the next time, get that little Pitmaster rib tip there.